Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Welcome back to my channel, my lovelies. If you've never been here before, thank you so much for clicking on my video. I am so happy you found me. I do so hope that you will like and subscribe before you leave. Become part of the Mama family. Mama's got your back, at least where makeup's concerned, and definitely when that makeup is cheap. Today is all about new releases from ShopMissA. I was gonna hold off and film this video for new makeup Monday, but y'all, it's just so good. I had to share it right now. I could not gatekeep these amazing new goodies from ShopMissA. Before we get started, if you're wondering what this fabulousness on my face is, I used a new palette. That one I will be talking about for next week's New Makeup Monday. Until then, I'll give you a little sneak peek. This is a new palette to my collection. This is the Moira Garden of My Mind palette. Oh, this is just so pretty. Moira, you guys know I talk about Moira Cosmetics continuously. I adore their eyeshadow formula. Super easy to use, incredibly pigmented. I can honestly say that these are the best neons I have ever used. A lot of times neons can be super chalky and hard to get to like stick to the eye. These went on effortlessly. They were pigmented and beautiful. They didn't look chalky. They looked really beautiful and like bright and vivid on the eyes. Fantastic. We're going to talk a little bit more about this come Monday, but until then, I will make sure that I have everything I talk about in today's video listed in the description box below, along with the tags to all of my other socials, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff. I did make sure to film a TikTok on today's eye look if you are interested. Y'all, if you are not following me on all my other socials, you should definitely go do that. I post fun content literally every single day. And if you're following me everywhere, you don't have to worry about missing a single moment of it. All right, now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into the new wonderfulness from ShopMissA. So ShopMissA recently revealed their new creamy line. It's the Venetian romance line, and everything is like creamy. So they've got creamy eyeshadows, creamy blushes, creamy bronzers, and all three of those things go for $1.88 a piece. So really affordable. Definitely cheaper than drugstore makeup, definitely cheaper than high-end. Less than $2 and you're getting really high quality, amazing products. Now, when it comes to cream blushes and cream bronzers, I never say no. And in my opinion, it's really hard to make a cream bronzer or a cream blush that is genuinely perfect. Like sometimes the tone's off, sometimes they're a little bit patchy, sometimes they're hard to blend out. But y'all, for $2, like these are a gift from the Lord himself, I'm telling you. So I did pick up 2 of the bronzers. I picked up 4 of the blushes and 2 of the creamy eyeshadows. Like I said, each of these goes for $1.88 a piece. I want to talk about the bronzers first. I do have everything in today's video on my face. I think my makeup looks pretty freaking fantastic. If you ask me, you guys know I never use any filters or anything like that. So what you see is what you get, and I'm pretty freaking happy about it. The bronzers are phenomenal. So again, when it comes to ShopMissA, the only thing I'm not a big fan of when it comes to the website is I don't feel like the pictures are very like true to life. A lot of times you think that you are purchasing one color and it gets to you and it is completely different. I don't know what it is about their pictures or about their website in general, but it just seems like their colors, like their swatches, things like that, are always slightly off. So I was a little iffy while ordering because I didn't know exactly what I was going to get. So the bronzers come in these little glass jars. I got 2 different shades. I got Canal and I got the shade Palace. I believe Canal is the lighter shade of the 2, but I'm not exactly certain. Okay, no. Yeah, so Palace is the lighter shade of the 2. Y'all, when I tell you, these absolutely blew my mind. I lost it. I opened it up. These come very much, they're sealed. So they have a little foil kind of layer over there to keep them from drying out, I guess. Take that off. They look beautiful. They are teeny tiny. So you're only getting 0.14 ounces in here, which again is a very small amount of product. For $1.88 though, I am not going to gripe about it too awful much. These are small, but they are mighty. The tiniest bit of this stuff is going to go the very, very longest way. I was a little bit worried. I was worried, especially when it comes to more affordable makeup, more affordable bronzers. Oftentimes, they end up leaning incredibly warm, and you know, for skin tones like mine, orange just is not a good color for me. I don't want to be an Oompa Loompa, right? I don't want to have orange skin. I don't want to look like I got a bad spray tan. So I was a little bit apprehensive, but y'all, again, this is the shade Palace. First of all, let's talk about the texture. The texture is, oh, it's so good. It feels so high-end. Definitely not, I don't even know what I was expecting, but they're so creamy and so slippy and so emollient. They're freaking effortless to use. So that's what it looks like on the finger. We'll do a teeny tiny little swatch of it. Y'all, look how pigmented that is. That is so pigmented, but I think the thing that impressed me the most was the undertone. It is such a beautifully neutral shade, which means that it's going to work for so many different skin tones. It's going to work for you if you've got a yellow skin tone or a yellow undertone. It's going to work if you're pink like me. It's going to work if you're olive, because neutral just kind of goes with everything. On top of that, it's going to go on and it's going to bring life and warmth to the face, but it's also going to shape and it's also going to contour just a little bit, which is one of my favorite things about cream bronzers. So that's the shade Palace, and then they blend out so easily. They just look so gorgeous. Now they are matte. There's no luminosity there. There's absolutely no chunky glitter or shimmer particles in any way. It is a really beautiful matte cream bronzer. It's got a very, very lightweight, very thin texture to it. So it goes on and it literally feels like there's nothing on your skin at all. I love the tone. Quite honestly, the only reason I didn't get the lightest shade was I was fearful that it wasn't going to be dark enough and that it wasn't going to show up on my skin tone. But y'all, I could have gone for the lightest shade and been very, very happy with it. Because these are so pigmented and they are rather dark, I do have to be very careful while using this shade because it can be too much really, really quickly. But this was so easy to use. I absolutely adore the color. And then I also picked up the shade Canal, and this one is even darker. Look at that. Quite honestly, it's almost too dark for me to use. I did end up using this shade. I just put the smallest amount of it right at the deepest points of the hollows of my cheeks and the highest point of my forehead. They blend out beautifully. These are not streaky in any way. These are not patchy. Like I said, they're absolutely perfect. And again, the undertone is so good. It is so neutral. I think this one has a little bit more of that coolness to it than this one does. But overall, I would say they're both really, really neutral shades. But y'all, this blended out. If you use the tiniest amount of it, it looked so pretty. I think my cheeks look stunning. I don't have any powder contour on today. I don't have any powder blush on. It is literally just the blushes and bronzers on top of that. Once they set down, they don't move. They set down completely. They don't leave your skin tacky or sticky in any way. Y'all, they are perfect. They are perfect. Considering the price tag, the price point, considering the packaging, they are literally a perfect freaking product, and I'm so stoked about it. ShopMissA is coming for us. She is serving, and I am ready to eat. It is absolutely phenomenal. I can't get over how good it is. Now they do have a deeper shade and a lighter shade. I got the two middle shades in the range. Y'all, these are fantastic. This isn't even the deepest shade, and it is dark. So I really feel like they're gonna have something for just about everyone. I do think if you're super fair, everything is going to be a bit dark for you, just because even like this second to deepest shade is, I guess this is for like medium skin tones. It's a little bit deep. So I think if you're super fair, maybe skip on these, but y'all, they're so good. I haven't even gotten to the blushes yet. So again, I had the shades Palace and Canal. They're absolutely fantastic. I do want to give you a close-up of the packaging really quickly. These are the Venetian Romance Creamy Bronzers. So, so cute. I love the packaging too. And you know, they are very tiny, but honestly, if you're anything like me and have quite an extensive makeup collection anyway, that big packaging can sometimes get a little bit difficult to store, trying to find space to put it. I actually really enjoy that these are so tiny, because it makes it really easy to just slip into my collection without taking up too much space. And honestly, I think these are going to last you for forever because they're so pigmented. The tiniest amount of them goes the longest way. These are so good. I'm so happy with them. So the next things I want to talk about are the blushes. Now the blushes come in exactly the same container, exactly the same packaging, except the lid is purple instead of blue, has the same imaging on the front. They are the Venetian Romance Creamy Blushes. I picked up 4 different shades. I don't remember if there were more shades or not. I tried to pick up as many as I could. They're super affordable, but again, I didn't want to buy things just to buy them. So I picked up the shades that called to me the most. I think there might be 1 or 2 more shades that I didn't pick up. And quite honestly, I like these so much. I'm going to go check it out. And if there are shades available that I don't own, I'm going to pick them up because they're just that good. So first off, we have the shade Duchess. So that is what it looks like. This is just a really gorgeous, deep, rosy mauve. It's almost got a little bit of that purple kind of undertone to it. This one makes me, it evokes winter. It evokes like late fall. It's just got that really gorgeous kind of rusty mauviness to it that just kind of looks like you've just come in from the cold. Almost got that little bit of ruddiness to it. Absolutely stunning. I am very, very much into it. I love this color. It's just a gorgeous purpley, rosy mauve tone. So stinking pretty. And again, they blend out totally effortlessly. Not patchy at all. They're not streaky. They're just fully saturated, gorgeous, even color. Now, these two are a matte formulation. There's no glitter, there's no shimmer, there's no shine. They do leave just a little bit of a sheen on the skin, but that is due to the fact that it is a cream formula. But again, they set down completely. They don't stay sticky or tacky on the skin. And once they set down and they don't move. So that was the shade Duchess. I think this is such a pretty shade. And actually, you know, not a super, super common shade either. So I'm really, really into that. The next shade I picked up was Vanity. This is one of the shades that I'm wearing today. I have 2 different shades on my cheeks today. Vanity is the one that's up a little bit closer to my temple. It is a really gorgeous, bright petal pink. Absolutely just... like, look how pigmented that is. Y'all, if you blindfolded me and had me use this product or used this product on me, and I just looked at the way that it laid on my skin, I would think that this was a high-end product. They just perform that well. I can't get over it. So that's the shade Vanity. It is a very, very bright, very saturated, like poppy, bright pink color. I am very, very much into it. I will say that this is more of a kind of neutral, almost leaning warm pink. It's not like a super cool toned like bubblegum pink. There's a little bit of liveliness there. There's a little bit of electricity there. But once it blends out, it still keeps that super bright pop of color, but it's not quite so scary once it's blended out. I do think that because these are so pigmented, they're going to work for absolutely everybody. I think that if you had a super deep skin tone, you could still use any of these colors, just because they're so saturated with pigmentation. Like, they're just gonna show up on you. And I think that that is super inclusive and really, really awesome. I love this color. So, so pretty. That's the shade Vanity. When it comes to the blush formula, I think it's just a little bit thinner than the bronzer formula. I think that the blush formula is a little bit easier to blend out as well, whereas the bronzer formula has a little bit more of a thickness to it. It's not difficult to blend out by any means, but I do think that the blushes are just a little bit thinner, just a little bit more emollient. so they do blend just a little bit easier. This one is my favorite shade out of all of the ones that I picked up, though. This is the shade Tea Party, and it is the most gorgeous, bright terracotta tangerine orange. I am so in love with it. You guys know how I feel about an orange blush. They're just, it's insane. It's insane to me how they did this for $1.88. I will never know, but I can't get over. I can't get over how pretty it is. I can't get over it. And again, it just blends out so pretty. They're so pigmented. A little bit like a dab will do you. I am barely touching my fingers into these products, and I am getting so much pigmentation. I'm so mad at myself. I just gouged it with my nail. But y'all, they're so pretty. Again, that was the shade Tea Party. And then last but not least, we have the shade, what is the last shade called? Bonnet. And this one I think is probably going to be the most neutral out of, well, I guess the shade Duchess is the most neutral, this one. But this one is another neutral option. It does look very orange in the pan, but once you blend it out, it actually is such a pretty kind of soft peachy tone. Let's do it right here. So that's what it looks like swatched. It is very, very reminiscent of Tea Party, but I think you can really notice the difference once you blend it out. Whereas this one has more of that kind of red undertone to it. It's more of a, like that terracotta, like reddish kind of orange. This one is more peachy. It definitely is an orange base, but it has more of that kind of softer peachy tone to it. It's a little bit lighter. It's not quite as bright and vivid and in your face. Y'all, all in all, I think these colors are fantastic. I really, really hope that they expand the shade range. I hope that these blow up. I hope that everybody and their mama falls in love with them, so they come out with 1,000,001 different colors. I think these are fantastic. I also think that because they're so pigmented, these would make really gorgeous eyeshadow bases, things like that. Also, they don't stain, which is so nice. And I want to show you guys what I'm talking about, because that was another thing that I was just a little bit worried about. Because they were so pigmented, I was worried, is it going to stain my skin? Because, you know, super pigmented products oftentimes will do that, and you can really find out if something is going to stain, especially when you swatch it on your hands. The hands are very, very porous, and they tend to just kind of suck up that product. But I want to show you, I'm just taking a little bit of my eye makeup remover on a cotton round, and they come right off. They come right off. They don't stain at all. The bronzers don't stain. They come right off. They set down completely, but they're super easy to remove. There's the bronzers. They didn't stain either. And especially with how punchy and bright those colors are, I really thought that it was a significant possibility that they would stain, but they didn't. So I thought that was really, really fantastic as well. I have two last things to show you, and then I will release you. I picked up two of the single eyeshadows. These are the Venetian Romance Creamy Eyeshadow Singles. I have a pink one in the shade Jewels, and I have an icy one in the shade Crystal Visions. Crystal Visions is the one that I have on my eyes today. This is so pretty. So basically what this is, it reminds me very much of a ColourPop Super Shock eyeshadow. But these ones have an even more an even higher moisture content. They're even creamier. They have even more of that like putty-like consistency. Like when I press into it, you can see it leaves a fingerprint, y'all, but they're so pretty. Again, this is the shade Crystal Visions. This one is a duochrome, so it switches from like a really beautiful icy white color to a gorgeous kind of almost green sheen. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it is really, really gorgeous. It is a very sheer formula as well. Can you guys see that? It switches from like a really light pale gold to like a green. Super pretty. It is a very sheer formula, but they're beautifully reflective. They blend out beautifully. I think that this one could be a super fun highlight if you wanted it to be. I also have this on my brow bone today. It looks stunning. I'm going to put just a little bit more on. I'm just going to take my ShopMissA brush. This is my AOA Studios E124. It is just a teeny tiny little pencil brush. And I want to put just a little bit on my inner corner. They pick up beautifully with a brush. I do think they work best with your finger, as do most of these putty-like formulas. They usually work best with a finger, but it is doable with a brush. It looks phenomenal. Let's try a little bit of it as a highlight. I'm going to take my highlight brush, just kind of swirl it in the pan. Oh yeah, super, super cute. A really light kind of highlight. It is super smooth. There's no big chunky glitter in here. There's no, it is smooth and buttery and gorgeous and metallic. Super, super pretty. I know I've said pretty about 1,000,001 different times in this video, but I can't get over it. Also, I think the packaging is really adorable as well. It's plastic packaging. It's not heavy. It doesn't feel super expensive, but I tell you what, it doesn't feel like it costed $1.88 either. This feels like a good, solid, middle of the road, kind of mid-range drugstore product. It reminds me very much of the Profusion highlights, especially from the Carnival collection, the It's a Vibe collection that I reviewed here recently. The packaging is very, very similar. Also, the size is very, very similar. You're getting a good amount of product in here. This is just so nice. And especially if you're one of those girlies who likes a one and done eyeshadow moment, these are so, so nice. So again, that was the shade Crystal Visions. And then last but not least, I have the shade Jewels. And this one is just a really gorgeous, super light, frosty pink. It is serving 2000s. And I'm here for it. Y'all, when I tell you they're so creamy, they almost feel wet in the pan. That's how creamy they are. I didn't press down at all. I literally just glided my finger over the surface of that eyeshadow, and it does all the work for you. I think this color is absolutely stunning. I cannot get over it. That's what it looks like swatched. Again, it is super, super sheer, but that's what it's supposed to be, right? And then you blend it out and you're left with just this really beautiful kind of shiny wash of barely there color. Can you guys see that? It's so pretty. It's so pretty. If you are looking for something that is super punchy and like in your face, these are not going to give you that because they do have that translucent kind of base to them. It's not going to be like a bright neon on your eye, but if you're looking for something that is a really beautiful light kind of wash of color, I think this one would be a really gorgeous highlight too. Yeah, let's tap a little bit of that just onto. Yeah, this one is an even prettier highlight. It just has that slight bit of luminosity to it. Really gorgeous. And because it's so buttery smooth and finely milled, y'all, they're fantastic. Not my favorite product in today's video, but definitely a good one. If there was anything I could tell you to pass on in today's video, it might be these. But y'all, if you're into the ColourPop Super Shock shadows, these are so, so similar. And again, I only picked up 2 colors, and I know that there are quite a few different colors available. And some of them might be more pigmented than these two. But these are going to serve they're going to do exactly what I wanted them to do. I wanted something that I could put on as a super light kind of topper shade. And I think that's exactly what these are going to do. They're going to go on and they're going to give you just that little bit of sparkle and shine. Just that little bit of a hint of color without taking over the eye look. And I love shades like this. I have about 1,000,001 of them, but these are super nice, really nice quality as well. I'm very happy. I'm very happy. I think overall, ShopMissA is killing it right now. They also just released some new foundations, things like that. So, of course, I'm going to wait for them to do a couple more releases, and then I'll place another order. ShopMissA is one of those brands that I am incredibly passionate about. I think that they do really great makeup for really great, affordable prices. I think it's a really look out for kind of brand. Very, very special, very dear to my heart. They always surprise me in the best ways. Guys, I hope today's video was helpful to you in some small way. Hope it was entertaining, just a teeny tiny little bit, watching me sit here and absolutely gush over these amazing, creamy, dreamy kind of products. Guys, as always, I will have everything I talked about listed in the description box below. Before you leave, make sure that you give this video a big old thumbs up. Make sure that you mash that subscribe button. Make sure that you turn on all of your notifications so next time I post, you can come right back here and we can hang out again. As always, no filters, no edits, no fancy lighting. It's just me sitting in front of my camera playing with some absolutely amazing makeup, hoping you guys are enjoying what I'm doing. And until next time, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and remember, you're important. Bye.